President Trump made an evidence-free claim that special counsel Robert Mueller's investigators will meddle in the midterm elections. What's the effect of claims like that? Joining us now is Matt Schlapp. He's the former political director for George W. Bush and chairman of the American Conservative Union. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Allison. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Matt, do you ever worry when the president says things like this that undercut our institutions like the FBI, like our election system, when he says things like there's a spy planted by the FBI in his campaign, when he says that somehow the election results will not be able to be believed, I guess, in the midterms? Does that worry you that at some point we'll do irreparable damage?
There's a lot to unpack there, Allison. I would say this, that I do worry about our institutions. I think the president has on all types of enemies and institutions, people who criticize him. And I do worry when it comes to the FBI that there's been long-term damage, not because the president has attacked them, but because the president attacked them, we've had this unveiling of how the FBI interacted at the end of the Obama administration. I think, Allison, you would agree, even a lot of Hillary Clinton supporters were scratching their heads, and they believe that Comey's actions, they even say, caused her to lose. Not the Russians caused her to lose, but that Jim Comey's actions
I remember
10 days
this
before.
history. But do you think, but hold on, Matt, just to be clear, do you think that they planted a spy in Donald Trump?
Yes. Yeah, I do. And as a matter of fact, I have people in Republican politics, because this spy has Republican ties who know him, that he has been hired to kind of do dirty tricks in past political campaigns. And I think that all the people I've met with and talked to, several people from the Bush years who were in the national security apparatus. And there's consensus with those folks that if it's true, as Mr. Clapper says, that Obama and Trey Gowdy says, that Obama was taking the appropriate steps to try to stop Russian meddling, all of the Republicans I talked to say the same thing, which is you would have told both campaigns, both the Trump campaign and the Clinton campaign, what Russia was up to. You would have fully briefed them.
They did.
And
they
you
did
would have
brief them, Matt.
And
they
you would
did
have
brief them.
Let me finish. And you would have coordinated. No, this is that is not right. And you would have coordinated with those campaigns.
Went over to talk to Donald Trump. But listen, but Matt, I think that you're, hold on one second. I think you're going down a strange road. You think that the FBI,
I have to answer your question.
And you're not doing it. You believe that the FBI planted a spy in the Trump campaign. Are you using the term informant and spy interchangeably? I'm just curious. Interchangeably? No, I'm asking what you believe.
Was the man under contract with the United States government? Was he using an alias to try to get information, saying he was a Cambridge professor, not saying he was there under the auspices of working for the FBI? And was he trying to get information in order to pass it back to the United States government? Was he doing those three things?
Hey, Matt.
Why don't you, come on, let's go both ways.
Let's do it. Hey, Matt, this is what blows my mind.
Was he doing those three things?
Matt, as you know, I ask the questions of you. Here's my question. When the FBI uses a source in MS-13 to find out what they're doing, is that a spy or is that a source and informant to figure out what MS-13 is doing?
Look, if you're going to equate, I would call it spying.
Okay, so they're spying. Yes, let me hold on. So they're spying on MS-13. Do you want the FBI to try to figure out when somebody is doing something untoward? Like okay.
But the reason
why are you saying they're spying when they're trying to figure out if Russia had infiltrated?
It was a paid informant. Working on behalf of the United States government.
You know that's what the FBI does, right?
In order to get information. And here's the big difference. Donald Trump is not MS-13, Allison, and this is where you all make the big mistake.
This is where you make the mistake,
Let me finish now. MS-13 is a gang that creates havoc and crime in our society. Donald Trump was the duly nominated Republican candidate. And what they should have done, instead of trying to trap him, they should have worked with him to push back on what Putin was trying to do. And that is the big mistake.
Okay, let me speak now, Matt, because you've made your point. Here's the point that I think you're missing. In this analogy, they're not trying to trap Donald Trump. Nobody is saying, no, they're not, Matt, and there's no evidence of that. What they're trying to do is run down George Papadopoulos's words that Russia had dirt on Hillary Clinton and Russia
nothing to do with this.
A cache of emails. How did George Papadopoulos know that? It was so alarming to the Australian diplomat that they alerted the FBI about it. Russia is the MS-13 in this comparison. If you find out that there is a foreign foe trying to do something, call it MS-13, call it Russia, you don't want the FBI to look into that? What did you want? Hold on, answer this question. What did you want the FBI to do when they got that information from the Australian diplomat? Ignore it?
No, I think they should have completely prosecuted the case against all this untoward and illegal activity on behalf of Putin's government and our election.
Prosecuted the case. They were trying to get the information first.
Which has happened in several elections. And what my answer to you is, I think the appropriate thing, instead of if Hillary had won, we wouldn't know any of this.
Okay.
But Donald Trump won. And what it has unfortunately done to the FBI, for those of us who, maybe not for other folks, but for those of us who support Donald Trump, it looks like when Hillary Clinton had wrongdoing and the FBI was faced with that, they whitewashed it.
Yeah.
When Donald Trump did not have wrongdoing, but some shirt-tail campaign consultant, George Papadopoulos, had some drunken remarks at a bar,
yes,
the FBI completely went after
and
infiltrated the Trump campaign.
Matt? What did you want them to do?
I don't think that is a fair approach.
Hey, Matt, just answer me this. When the FBI gets information that Russia is trying to turn George Papadopoulos, perhaps, into a stooge, what do you want them to do? Investigate or not?
I can keep answering this. What I would have done if I was involved in this decision-making, and I knew that in America, we elect either Democrats or Republicans.
Yeah.
So if you're going to put a spy, which we have both agreed it was a spy, into one of the campaigns, you have to do it in a way where it doesn't look like you're being political.
You're not answering my question,
that is
Matt.
Yes, I am.
Do you want the FBI to look into
I'll give the
Russia?
answer 3 times.
Do you want the FBI to look into Russian meddling? Fantastic.
Yes, and they did, and they unfortunately did it in a way, Allison, where I believe it wasn't just about Russian meddling. I believe that the FBI believed that Donald Trump, and if you look at a lot of the coverage of Donald Trump over the last 18 months, you can see this, was not the right person to be the president of the United States.
The FBI is different than the coverage.
They believed that he was outside the range of responsible choosing in a presidential campaign.
You have no evidence
and they
of that
wanted
from
to do
the
everything
FBI.
they could. Look at all the unmasking that happened on Trump colleagues. Look at the fact that they were listening in, and spying is just the latest step. And so to me, it was clear that when it came to Team Trump, they believed that there was significant wrongdoing and that they would catch him in the wrongdoing. It wasn't about stopping Russia.
Hey, listen.
It was about stopping Trump.
Right. That's not what the FBI was doing. They were trying to see what Russia was doing. But in any event, but let's stop right there, Matt.
We might disagree on that.
Well, not only do we disagree, the people who have seen the intelligence, which you and I have not.
I have not seen it.
Nor have I. The people who have seen the intelligence say that there was no.
I am even more convinced that the FBI did exactly what my fellow citizens would want them to do when they got the information they got, and that it has nothing to do with Donald Trump.
How do you explain that, Matt?
Yeah, I disagree with Trey Gowdy.
He's seen the intel and you haven't.
But a lot of people who have seen the intel agree with me. And you know that. You're not quoting the other Republicans who have seen the intel. So
no, yes, I am, actually. Matt, nobody came out of that intel, that classified intel meeting and said, aha, there's a smoking gun. They all came out and said, nothing new here.
Because
you even heard Mitch McConnell.
Because he said, no, I heard Mitch McConnell, and he said, I will not comment on a classified meeting.
He sure didn't sound like there was something that set his hair on fire in there.
He said, I won't. Nope. He said, go to PR, which happened right after that meeting. He said, I will not characterize the meeting in a positive or negative way. I will not discuss the meeting.
He also said there was nothing that changed his mind from that meeting. There was nothing new that changed his mind. What about Marco Rubio?
He didn't say
Marco Rubio has also said no spy. Trey Gowdy.
He did not say that. Nope. Marco did not say that. Marco said that that he might have done things differently. He used different language. He didn't clearly say there was no spying. He didn't say it.
Is it possible you're practicing selective hearing, Matt?
No. No, Allison, look, I'll be direct with you. I understand there are people that say the FBI acted in a way they had to when faced with Russian meddling. I understand that. And I understand that Trey Gowdy is a good man, and I can disagree with him from time to time, and he can disagree with me from time to time. I think the Obama administration had an alarming use of our intelligence community for their political aims. Let me finish this. He went after journalists. You know, he spied on a Fox News journalist and an AP journalist. I think that was a mistake. I think that was too far.
I understand. And I know
think
that
when he used the IRS to go after his, when he went after the IRS to go after his political
We're now in the
opponents
Trump
with Tea Party,
administration.
that was too much. No, but no, this is the Obama administration.
I know that.
And then
I know that.
When the Obama,
I know you want to talk about the Obama administration, but we're talking about the Trump administration.
You've got to let me answer. When the Obama administration went too far with the FBI, with the Trump campaign, it was a pattern of behavior. And I am just someone that believes that these powers are very dangerous, and we should be careful with how we use them. And we shouldn't ever use them in a way where it looks like we're going after our opponents, because what that does is that does weaken these institutions. And I think there's a lot of people involved with the FBI who are former U.S. attorneys and such who believe that James Comey bungled all of this. There's actually a lot of Democrats who believe that.
You've made your point. I've heard that. And I think there are also people who worry that the FBI, we need them. There'll be times that we need them.
We do need them.
And we hope that they are not damaged beyond repair. Matt
I agree.
Schlapp.
We can agree on that.